Academically Adrift, Limited Learning on College Campuses by Arum and Josipa Roksa is a comprehensive, research-driven analysis of the state of higher education in the United States. The book explores the academic performance of college students, arguing that many students are not gaining the critical thinking and analytical skills that higher education aims to foster. The authors assert that the current model of college education, with its heavy emphasis on socializing students and offering courses with low academic rigor, has resulted in a significant gap between the skills students acquire and the expectations of the workforce and society. The author's research is grounded in an extensive study, conducted over a period of several years, that tracked the academic progress of a large group of students at 24 different universities and colleges across the country. The study used data from surveys, transcripts, and other assessments to measure students' learning outcomes, specifically in the areas of critical thinking, complex reasoning, and writing skills. Through this empirical approach, Arum and Roksa were able to gather evidence of what they argue is a troubling trend: students are not significantly improving in these critical areas during their time in college. Arum and Roksa's central claim is that many college students are not learning as much as they should, despite spending significant time and money on their education. They report that approximately 45% of students show no significant improvement in their critical thinking and analytical reasoning skills during the first 2 years of college, and about 36% of students show no improvement over 4 years of college. The authors argue that this lack of progress is a major concern, given the increasing demands of a knowledge-based economy and the promise that higher education offers to improve individual opportunities and societal outcomes. One of the key factors that Arum and Roksa identify as contributing to this problem is the lack of academic rigor in many college courses. They find that a large number of college courses, especially in the humanities and social sciences, are not challenging enough to push students to think critically and engage with complex material. Many students report spending very little time on homework or engaging with the course material outside of class, and some instructors fail to set high expectations for their students. The authors argue that this trend is exacerbated by the increased emphasis on teaching to students' expectations and grades, which can lead to watered-down curricula designed to cater to students who are more focused on their social lives or obtaining a degree than on gaining a deeper understanding of their fields of study. Another important factor in the book is the growing influence of standardized testing and market-driven goals in higher education. Arum and Roksa suggest that colleges and universities, in their effort to cater to market demands and financial pressures, have become more concerned with satisfying students' demands for easy grades and attractive degrees than with ensuring academic rigor. Colleges, they argue, are increasingly prioritizing consumer satisfaction over academic quality, leading to a situation where students often do not face the kind of challenges that promote genuine learning. This consumer-driven approach to education is also contributing to a shift in the roles of faculty, with instructors often feeling pressured to accommodate students' preferences rather than holding them to high academic standards. The book also highlights the role of extracurricular activities in shaping students' college experiences. Arum and Roksa discuss how students spend a large portion of their time on socializing, sports, and other non-academic activities, which detracts from their focus on intellectual development. While the authors acknowledge the importance of social experiences in college, they argue that too much time spent on extracurricular activities can lead to students neglecting their academic responsibilities and failing to develop the necessary cognitive skills for success in their careers. The emphasis on socializing and networking, they argue, has taken precedence over a genuine engagement with academic content. In terms of institutional factors, Arum and Roksa suggest that universities often lack the necessary support structures to ensure that students engage meaningfully with their coursework. They find that there is a lack of emphasis on promoting student-faculty interactions and encouraging deep intellectual engagement. Moreover, many colleges are not providing sufficient academic support to struggling students, leading to low retention rates and suboptimal academic outcomes. The authors argue that there needs to be a stronger institutional commitment to improving the quality of education and fostering an environment where students are encouraged to challenge themselves intellectually. The book also examines the role of student motivation in shaping academic outcomes. Arum and Roksa emphasize that students who approach their education with a genuine desire to learn, who take responsibility for their own academic success, are far more likely to experience significant academic growth. However, the authors argue that many students enter college without a clear sense of purpose or direction, which affects their academic performance. They suggest that universities need to do more to help students develop a sense of academic commitment and to instill in them the importance of intellectual development as part of their broader personal growth. In their analysis, Arum and Roksa also explore the role of faculty in shaping the academic experiences of students. They argue that faculty members must take a more active role in challenging students and creating rigorous academic environments. This involves creating assignments that require critical thinking, encouraging deep engagement with texts, and providing constructive feedback. Unfortunately, the book finds that many professors are not holding students to high standards or are failing to encourage intellectual engagement, which contributes to the academic stagnation that Arum and Roksa observe. Furthermore, the authors examine the growing role of for-profit colleges in the higher education landscape. They argue that these institutions, which are often focused on serving non-traditional students, are contributing to the academic underachievement they document in their study. Many for-profit colleges have lower graduation rates and less rigorous academic standards compared to traditional institutions. The authors express concern that these institutions are not providing students with the quality of education they need to succeed in the workforce, further perpetuating the academic stagnation they have identified. Despite these challenges, Academically Adrift is not entirely pessimistic. Arum and Roksa emphasize that there are some positive trends in higher education as well. They point to specific programs and initiatives at colleges that have successfully promoted critical thinking, student engagement, and academic rigor. However, these programs are often the exception rather than the rule, and the authors stress that more needs to be done at the institutional and systemic levels to improve the academic experiences of college students. One of the key takeaways from the book is the need for a fundamental shift in the way higher education is structured and experienced. Arum and Roksa argue that colleges and universities must place greater emphasis on academic rigor, critical thinking, and the intellectual development of students. They propose that colleges should reorient their focus away from satisfying consumer demands for easy grades and social experiences and instead prioritize the creation of challenging and stimulating academic environments that encourage deep learning. The book concludes with a call for reform in higher education, urging colleges and universities to take a more active role in ensuring that their students are genuinely learning and developing the skills they need to succeed in life and work. Arum and Roksa suggest that this reform should include changes in how colleges approach teaching, curriculum design, and student support, with an emphasis on academic excellence and intellectual growth. By doing so, they argue, higher education can better fulfill its promise of providing students with the knowledge and skills necessary for success in a rapidly changing world. Academically Adrift is a critical examination of the state of higher education in America. By highlighting the gap between the promises of college and the actual academic outcomes, the book calls for a re-evaluation of the goals and practices of higher education. It challenges colleges, universities, and policymakers to take a more active role in ensuring that students are not just earning degrees, but truly gaining the skills they need to succeed in the modern world.